Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the all-new high school football recap for the state of Wyoming with Andrew Gallinger. We are taking a look at the numbers for multiple teams in the 3 and 4A conferences for high school football in Wyoming going into week 2 of the season that begins this weekend. First, taking a look at the stats in 4A, you got Thunder Basin, Cheyenne East, and the defending 4A state championship Sheridan High School all atop the standings in a three-way tie for first at 2-0. They are followed by Cheyenne Central High School, Natrona County High School, Rock Springs High School, and Campbell County High School. The four teams sitting at 1-1 going into Game 3 of the 2022 Wyoming high school football season for 4A. In Laramie High School, Kelly Walsh High School, and Cheyenne South High School look to get back on track this weekend in games, as those three squads sit with an 0-2 record on the early season as we head in to Game 3 of the official Week 2 of the season this weekend. All games for 4A teams began for 2022 in Week 0. Let's take a look at where teams are playing. First up, we'll start with the team I broadcast for, the Rock Springs High School Tigers. The Tigers are coming off of a loss last time out against Thunder Basin. Thunder Basin came into Rock Springs for the Rock Springs Tigers home opener, and the Bolts came away with a 36-21 victory. That one following a 42-7 win in the season opener in Week 0 for Rock Springs against Kelly Walsh. Rock Springs is preparing to take on Campbell County High School, another Gillette High School. Thunder Basin and Campbell County are both high schools based in Gillette, with both Rock Springs and Campbell County coming into this contest 1-1. Rock Springs is especially looking to get back onto the winning track after they made it all the way to the state championship a season ago, falling just short to the eventual 4A state champion, Sheridan. They showed that domination, again winning in Week 0 to kick off the season against Casper Kelly Walsh, and then fell against Thunder Basin. Looking for Campbell County on their side. They lost to open the season. Again, Cheyenne East, 47-28 on the road. And then last week in the season's considered Week 1, but it was Game 2, Campbell County squeaked out a win on the road at Laramie High School, 21-20. The victory for Campbell County in that one. Campbell County heads into this contest with Rock Springs as their home opener for the 2022 season. And as we go back now to the standings in the 4A conference, Let's take a look now at what Thunder Basin has coming up next. The Bolts victorious last weekend against the Rock Springs. Thunder Basin victorious in their season opener, 42-0 against Cheyenne South. Coming up this weekend, it'll be the other 2-0 team, Cheyenne East, that Thunder Basin takes on. So that should be a good one in the state in terms of really seeing who is going to be the team to watch in 4A as we get down into early October and really start looking at the state championship and playoffs come the end of October and early November. Taking a look at the full schedule for Thunder Basin, they got Cheyenne East this weekend, Cheyenne Central the weekend of September 16th, Sheridan High School, the other 2-0 team, on September 23rd. Sheridan, that game will be an away game for Thunder Basin, while Cheyenne Central will be a home game for them, their second one in a row, as this one with Cheyenne East this weekend is also up in Gillette, so there will be 2 high school games this weekend in Gillette. And then on September 30th, the crosstown rivalry, Thunder Basin and Campbell County, will do battle. The weekend of October 7th, Thunder Basin will be at home again hosting Laramie High School. And then to close out the regular season, Thunder Basin will take on the Casper schools, first Kelly Walsh and then Natrona County, with the playoffs slated to begin the weekend of October 28th. It'll be interesting to see where things go as we are still early on in the season. Now taking a look at Sheridan, the last of the undefeated teams going into this weekend. Sheridan in week 0 squeaked out a win against Central, 24-21, and then Cheyenne South was a more dominating win for the Sheridan Broncs and defending 4A state champions. That one, 41-14. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule now for the Sheridan Broncs, as they come in here 2-0, it's really thought that they're going to be the team to beat in the 4A side of the conference as things go deeper into the season. This weekend they take on the 0-2 Laramie High School in Sheridan. And then next weekend they will travel here to Rock Springs to take on the Tigers. And then on the 23rd it'll be Thunder Basin. September 30th, Cheyenne East. Kelly Walsh Casper, October 7th. Natrona County Casper on October 14th, and Campbell County out of Gillette at home to close out the season for Sheridan on October 21st. Early on in the season, Sheridan looks like, based off of how they were last year, with an undefeated record going down to the end, and obviously all the way through the playoffs, making it to the state championship, winning it against Rock Springs, that the Broncs are not going to be in a three-way tie for the top spot in 4A for very long, as we are here early in the season. Let's take a look now at the schedule for the Cheyenne Central Indians. Central, with multiple Cheyenne teams just like Gillette and Casper. One of the teams that's really trying to separate themselves amongst county and in-city rivalries. Central takes on Natrona County this weekend at home. We mentioned their battle against Thunder Basin. That'll be next week. Laramie on the 23rd of September. And then they've got 2 straight Cheyenne rivalry weekends. The first one will be on the Indians' home field against Cheyenne South on September 30th. And then on October 7th, they will travel just down the road to play Cheyenne East, then Campbell County on October 14th, closing out the season on October 21st, when the Rock Springs Tigers come to Cheyenne to close out the 2022 season for 4A football in Wyoming. Taking a look now at Natrona County, a team that a handful of years ago they were the dominant team in the 4A conference within the state of Wyoming. Last few years, though, that dominance has seemed to slip a little bit. A dominating 40-0 win to open the season at the end of August on the road in Laramie for the Natrona County Mustangs. 40-0 in that one. Game 2, Cheyenne East, the home opener. The Natrona County Mustangs lost that one 33-7. And now I mentioned this weekend it's going to be the Natrona County Mustangs traveling to Cheyenne to take on Central. And then next weekend will be the Oil City rivalry. The Natrona County Mustangs and Kelly Walsh. That one will be played at the Kelly Walsh Casper home field for 2022. On September 23rd, it's back at Cheney Alumni Field with Cheyenne South coming to town. And then on September 30th, the Rock Springs Tigers will be in Casper to take on the Mustangs. Then October 7th, it's a trip for the Mustangs to Gillette to take on Campbell County. And then they close out the season on October 14th and 21st, taking on Sheridan and Thunder Basin, respectively, both of those games at home for Natrona County Casper to close out the season. As we are here early on in the season, it's definitely interesting to take a look at these numbers and see where teams are sitting at right now, especially considering after a lot of these teams have dominating wins in week 0 to open the season, and then it completely goes the other way in game 2, the week 1 on the schedule, and now a lot of these teams are wondering which way is this going to go as we go into week 2 of the season, game 3 of the season for all of these 4A teams. And now we got Laramie, Kelly Walsh, and Cheyenne South all down there at the unfortunate and challenging 0-2 position, 8th, 9th, and 10th respectively in the 4A conference going into game 3. Taking a look now at the schedule for the Laramie Plainsmen. They're on the road with Sheridan tonight. That'll be followed up by Cheyenne East on the road next week, at home against Cheyenne Central on September 23rd. Back at home against the Trojans of Kelly Walsh September 30th. And then 2 consecutive games on the road, October 7th, Thunder Basin, and October 14th at Rock Springs, and then Cheyenne South at home. The Kelly Walsh Trojans, they fell in a big-time upset in their season opener to the Rock Springs Tigers, the defending state champion 4A runners-up in 2021. That one was a 42-7 final at home for Kelly Walsh. And then last weekend, Cheyenne Central took them down 21-3 at home. Kelly Walsh preparing to take on Cheyenne South tonight, so one of those two teams will have their first win on the year at the conclusion of this weekend's contest. And then, as we mentioned earlier, next weekend, September 16th, the Oil City rivalry between Kelly Walsh and Natrona County. Kelly Walsh on the road at Campbell County on September 23rd, then again on the road at Laramie on September 30th. Sheridan comes to Casper to take on the Trojans on October 7th. Thunder Basin will follow suit in Casper on October 14th, and then the Kelly Walsh Trojans will close out the season at Cheyenne East on October 21st. Now for Cheyenne South, as we just mentioned, we've got a guarantee between Kelly Walsh and South that one of these teams will have their first win on the year at the conclusion of this weekend's contest between the two Now it's just a matter of figuring out which one. As Sheridan beat South last week 41-14, and the Bison of Cheyenne South just got trampled in their home opener by Thunder Basin at the end of August, 42-0. So Cheyenne South also hoping that they come out on the right side of Kelly Walsh at the end of this weekend in 4A football. Early on, a lot still to be figured out here, especially in terms of the standings. Rock Springs and Campbell County, you've got the 6 and 7 teams doing battle. When a season ago, Rock Springs, for the majority of the season, was the number 2 team in the conference. So, boy, how fortunes can change for teams. It'll definitely be interesting to see how does the third week of games in this week number 2 shake up the standings across the 4A conference for Wyoming high school football. We'll have to see. Be sure to stay with me, everybody, because later on this weekend, once again, thanks to everybody at Rock Springs High School Athletics, I will be back on the call for Rock Springs High School football on the road at Campbell County. That game will be posted to my official YouTube channel, Andrew Gallinger, later on this weekend, as well as my social media channels, Andrew Gallinger on Facebook, and at Gallinger Andrew on Twitter. That's at Gallinger Andrew on Twitter, and for Facebook, it is Andrew Gallinger, as well as my primary media site, Andrew Gallinger, on YouTube. Thank you for joining us for this opening recap look at the standings and schedules going into Game 3 for all of these 4A Wyoming high school football teams. Good luck to all of these teams in competition this weekend, and I look forward to being on the call of Rock Springs and Campbell County this weekend, and being back with you guys next week for another look back at 4A high school football in Wyoming and what's ahead in the 4th game for all of these teams as we continue to go through the 2022 season and ultimately see who will be back in the 2022 4A State Championship at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming, and who will raise the 4A State Championship trophy at the end of that night on the college campus. Stay with us, everybody. It's going to be a wild season that's just getting started. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been Andrew Gallinger. Have a great weekend, everybody.